Hey guys, Movie Fan 356 here with another movie review, and the movie I'm reviewing for you guys today, X-Men: Days of Future Past. So, I'm gonna give you a brief little what I think about the previous X-Men films. I'm gonna keep this very brief so I can talk about this movie because I really need to discuss this fucking movie. Um, X-Men 1, I liked it. X-Men 2, I loved it. It was my favorite one for a while there. X-Men 3, I enjoyed it a lot more than most people did. X-Men Origins Wolverine, I liked a couple things about it, but pretty much that movie was shit. X-Men First Class trumped X2 as my favorite X-Men movie. But still, I mean, it was like X-Men First Class and X2 was a tie for my favorite X-Men film. So that's where we are in X-Men Days of Future Past. And X-Men Days of Future Past, how does this do on my X-Men? Did I like it or didn't I like it? I fucking loved it. Oh my god. This movie was like one of those holy shit movies that the trailers looked good. It looked like it was going to be great. You had this great cast. The storyline sounded awesome. But there was a lot that could have gone wrong with it. And it just blows your mind uh, how Singer was able to basically do the one thing that the fans have been doing to Brett Ratner and the other directors who did like Origins and the standalone the Wolverine movie that came out last year. I like that one too up until like the last like 20 minutes or something. I forgot to mention that one. But it's basic. Brian Singer basically did the one thing to the people behind Origins and The Last Stand, Brett Ratner. He basically went like that because this movie just throws all that shit out the window. Did it happen? Uh, yes and no, and I'll kind of get into that in my spoiler review. So basically, the storyline of this movie is it starts off in the future a little bit, and the Sentinels are destroying the mutants, the mutant race. These like they are destroying almost every mutant. So Kitty Pryde has to send Wolverine back into 1973 to try to convince Professor X and Magneto to come together so they can stop the Sentinels from ever being created. And that's basically the storyline of the movie. And I know people are getting tired of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine being the lead in all these X-Men movies. Give somebody else a chance to lead. But this guy's played Wolverine for 14 years now. So he's a recognizable main character by now. Whether we like it or not, which I liked it. At first I'm like, it's okay. And then he did X-Men 1, and then he did X-Men 2, and then I'm like, well done, sir, well done. And when he does decide to quit, all we can do is tip our hats off to him and all that. I said that before, but now I'm saying he can never be done. He can never stop being Wolverine. So, what I liked about this movie is that it took the original trilogy, like X-Men, X2, and X-Men The Last Stand. They took that cast, combined it with the X-Men First Class cast, and it just made this epic fucking movie. Um, but I can't talk about this movie without talking about Peter Dinklage, who plays Trask in the movie. And I'm not going to give away too much, but holy shit. Anything with Peter Dinklage in it, sign me up. Now, I know I'm going to be probably unsubscribed for a couple people because I do not watch Game of Thrones. I want to get into it. I just haven't got a chance because I want to start from the beginning. I want to start from the very first episode and catch up, and I just haven't got around to that yet. But anything with Peter Dinklage in it, sign me up. And you can tell they did not write this role for a little person. They wrote this role as a regular role, and they don't even mention the movie that okay he's a little person. That I thought that was just brilliant. All of the acting is spot on. There are a lot of mutants in this movie, especially from the future that we haven't seen before yet. I thought we could have used a little bit more of them. The future, with the stuff that takes place in the future, I thought there could have been a little bit more done with that. All the stuff in the past was great. And I did like the stuff in the future. I just wish there was more stuff in the future. Um, I wanted this movie to be longer, so that's not really that big of a complaint. And yeah, overall, I really can't talk about this movie without spoilers. But you get a lot of great cameos in this movie. The storyline's great. The casting is spot on. The action is fun, so fun. It's phenomenal. Bryan Singer is at his best. I know after Superman Returns, we were all a little worried if he ever came back to X-Men, how would he do? And this movie, he just threw all that shit out the window. He blew it away. This is beyond X2, beyond X-Men 1. It goes so much further than I was thinking it was going to go, which is a good thing. So that being said, I'm going to give X-Men Days of Future Past a 10 out of 10. I mean, I really don't know. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and I didn't even give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a full 10 out of 10. So that's a good sign, at least the way I see it. Um, if you haven't checked out X-Men Days of Future Past yet, we are going to talk about spoilers, and if you haven't seen it, shame on you. Shame on you. Go watch it. What are you even doing sitting at home on your computer or your mobile device watching this review when you should be out at your theater watching X-Men Days of Future Past? Go see it now. Alright, now that I'm done with the pitch, let's get on to spoilers. Like I said, I give it a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen X-Men Days of Future Past, stop watching now. Come back and watch the rest of this video later. And, yeah. So, spoilers. Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. I liked her as Mystique in First Class. She was no Rebecca Romijn, but I liked Jennifer Lawrence a lot, and I was hoping that she would get up there. And you can really tell that she studied Rebecca Romijn's Mystique for this movie. Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Holy shit. I mean, I cannot say enough about Michael Fassbender in this movie. James McAvoy. He was so good in this movie that Patrick Stewart himself says he wished he would have studied James McAvoy instead of James McAvoy studying Patrick Stewart. Coming from Patrick Stewart, that's a fucking huge ass fucking compliment. And that's a big deal to me. Hugh Jackman, perfect as Wolverine as always. Yeah, a lot of the supporting cast, like you got Young Beast in there from First Class. I don't remember the actor's name off the top of my head right now. But he's back in this movie. He was better in this one as he was in First Class. Which I got First Class in the background right here going. So yeah, I highly, highly enjoyed this movie. Go check it out. The cameos in this film, like you get a Jean Grey cameo. We are in the spoiler section. You get Kelsey Grammer. I was kind of expecting Jean Grey to at least make a cameo because she did make it a cameo in the newest Wolverine movie, which I thought was fine. So I kind of was expecting that cameo. I was not expecting fucking Kelsey Grammer to pop up in this movie. I thought he was done with X-Men. Holy shit. I mean, he's not in there. He's in the movie for like 2 seconds, but that 2 seconds is worth it. Then you also get James Marsden as Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, back in this movie. Well, if you're watching the spoiler section and you don't care about spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, you're probably thinking, well, isn't Cyclops dead? How did he come back? Jean Grey was dead. How did she come back, you know? This movie fixes I'm going to say about 97% of the plot holes and continuity errors that the X-Men series over the years has created. And it's all because of time travel. And there's one plot point that changes everything and brings all these characters back, which I thought was perfect. The ending of this movie was spot on. The post-credits scene with Apocalypse, oh my god. As soon as the camera faded in and we were in Egypt, and I was like, holy shit! Because we know what the next one was called, so we knew what was coming next. But yeah, highly recommend X-Men Days of Future Past. I can't talk about this movie enough. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, just drop a comment down below and we'll discuss it there. But I think I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. The Sentinels, badass. They're like X-Men mixed with Terminator 2. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all I can say in this review. Like I said, I'm giving X-Men Days of Future Past a 10 out of 10. And the question I'll have for you for this review: what is your favorite X-Men character or X-Men movie? See, long list of movies to choose from, longer list of mutants as your favorite X-Men. Um, Drop a comment below, let me know, and that's all I can say for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.